Yo, what's good? This your main correspondent, Alan Taylor, and I'm back in the broadcast room yet again, always with another one. And yes, it is another one, man. Listen, look. I titled this thing the way that I did for a certain reason. It's coming to a point in today's society where we have to make a decision. And we have to understand certain things. And in order to correct certain things, we may need to have a certain level of blame placed upon the parents. Now, hold on. You know, we have this case out of, it's a little bit older, but it happened to a degree. Listen, look, you know what I'm saying? The young man that was in, I think it was Oxford, Michigan, and things like that. I think it was in Oxford, Michigan. And yeah. So, you know, his parents are on trial for what he did, that mass school shooting. Let's see, Ethan Cromberly. I think that listen, look. It is what it is, man. Hey, let's just dive off into this. Let's put these quarters, nickels, and dimes in on the times.
Landmark case out of Michigan this morning where for the first time the parents of a school mass shooter have been convicted and sentenced related to their child's crime.
Jennifer and James Crumbley were given at least 10 years in prison. Their son Ethan was 15 years old when he opened fire on his classmates. That was back in 2021. 4 students were killed, 7 others wounded.
Okay, so Ethan, if y'all remember that, you know what I'm saying? He opened, fire on a school, 2021, things like that. And they now have the parents, getting convicted for their child's crime. Like, and this is a very serious situation because Michigan has made a new move with this, situation here when it involves, a court document situation. You have to really think this through. If they are actually able to convict the parents of a child's crime in Michigan, it only takes one case. It only takes one case for things to, for laws to come in place, for things to change. It only takes one case to where this is happening now. They have convicted his parents of his crime. Now, the parents did not commit this crime now. Their child committed the crime of this mass shooting. But they're going to convict the parents right along with him. This is unprecedented, people. This is new.
So what the French toast is there to think about?
And see, this is how laws get changed. This is how unprecedented events get turned to a degree. This is how accountability adds into the situation. How many of you out there actually want to go to prison for your child's crimes? I mean, like, do you? You can't make this shit up. How many of y'all want to go to prison for your child's crimes? Seriously. Don't think that they're not going to try to put a law in place due to the fact that they've convicted these people. They convicted his parents of his crime. Come on now.
Ethan was sentenced to life in prison for his crime. The Crumbleys were found guilty of involuntary manslaughter.
So the prosecutors say the parents could have prevented the incident. Before sentencing today, the parents of victims spoke about all they've been through, and then the Crumbleys had a chance to speak, and then a strange moment when James addressed the victims' families, hinting that the school district may be hiding some information.
He was certainly saying that the school district has hidden facts and you don't have all of them, which I agree with, but I don't think Mr. Muir and any of the rest of the family want to hear what Mr. Crumbly thinks is the school district's responsibility today. Today wasn't for that. It was about him accepting or not his responsibility, which clearly he remains in not doing, Charlie.
So again, the first time a parent of a school shooter has been held directly responsible for their child's crime. Morning, where for the first time, the
Sorry, but listen, look, man, you have to really pay attention to this. Regardless of whether you want to or not, you have to really understand this. This is a move that the court system is making. Michigan doing a lot, low key. Michigan is making this move here with charging the parents for the child's crime. They also, and I've done reactions to this situation. They've also in trying to make it to where, you know, a man can be responsible for a child that's not his in Michigan. Michigan is doing a lot.
Thank me in the morning.
You ain't right, man.
Oh, I'm right. You'll see.
Michigan is doing a lot right now. They're trying to move the bar with certain laws on child support. They're trying to move the bar on laws low key now. This is all low key. This is going right up under you people's noses out here. Michigan is doing a lot. It only takes one trial to actually convict parents of a child's crime, where they could use that in any other state. Well, Crumbly versus, you know what I'm saying, the state, well, the state versus Crumbly can, you know, any other child that does something egregious like this and goes to, you know, shoot up a school or anything like that, you know what I'm saying, they could use this as a case study to say that, yes, we can hold the parents accountable for the child's actions. And why can they do this? Because parents have already been convicted of the child's actions. So let's not sleep on this like this is a you know, just something just to sleep on here. This is very dangerous. You need to understand that at the end of the day, if you're not raising your children properly out here to the utmost degree that you can, you know what I'm saying, in the future, you may be able to be convicted of your child's crimes. So you and your child gonna go to prison.
You old fish-eyed fool.
Hey, listen, look, we about to dive off into the second half of this. You know what I'm saying? Like, seriously, this is crazy. This is crazy. And y'all need to start paying attention out here. Seriously, for all of you people out there that are parents and things like that, you know, man, this is something that y'all need to actually understand. Y'all need to take heed to. Like, seriously, here we go.
I spent both trials looking out at all the family members, and I wondered to myself, I'm looking straight on at Mr. St. Juliana, whether or not he'll ever smile again. And that's very difficult. I'm very aware of my job in the situation, very aware of my job. Do not be swayed by public opinion, by media, by any of those different things. I can't and will not pretend to understand the pain the families are experiencing, but I did sit through these trials with you. I saw what you saw. I heard what you heard. So I can and will offer my deepest and most sincere condolences for your unfathomable losses. It's as I just said, it's not my role. It's not the role of the court system to make an example of the defendants. However, it is a goal of sentencing to act as a deterrent.
Took us a while to find this winner. I'm looking for Sonia.
No way.
Is that you? Yeah. Oh, we found her. We've been looking around.
These charges are not jury edicts about gun ownership or keeping the gun in a private home. All of the jurors in both trials agreed that they understood that. Parenting is a complex job. Parenting practices around the world share the goals of ensuring health and safety, preparation for life as a productive adult, and transmission of cultural values. Parents are not expected to be psychic. But these convictions are not about poor parenting. These convictions confirm repeated acts or lack of acts that could have halted an oncoming runaway train. About repeatedly ignoring things that would make a reasonable person feel the hair on the back of their neck stand up. Opportunity knocked over and over again, louder and louder, and was ignored. No one answered, and these two people should have and sure didn't. Mr. Crumbley, it's clear to this court that because of you, there was unfettered access to a gun or guns, as well as ammunition in your home. You characterized yourself as a martyr and threatened the well-being of the prosecutor. Mrs. Crumbley, you glorified the use and possession of these weapons. Your attitude toward your son and his behaviors was dispassionate and apathetic. Your response to school staff after a 12-minute meeting was, "Are we done here?" During your trial, you announced that you wouldn't do anything different. I understand that might have been misinterpreted, but it did cut the victims deep. Because of both of your actions and inaction, among many, many other things, the world is missing out on and a top college university will miss out on Tate's star quality football skills. I met Raina, who's wise beyond her years, and she's told us that among many, many other things, the community will be denied Hannah's kindness, creativity, and sense of humor. Among many, many other things, the world will miss is Madison's kind and loving soul and the light that reflected her beauty both inside and out. Although a hero in death because of his organ donations that helped so many, we will never know where Justin, an excellent student with vast skills and interests, described as a mentor and a leader, would have left his giant imprint.
So, okay. She's reading off the name of the students that were deleted in this action. Yeah. And we want to sit around here and still believe in the 21st century that proper parenting is not needed anymore. The mass of us are, as we know, the mass amount of people are not properly parenting their children anymore. Due to whatever overwork, jobs, upbringing of the previous parents to raise the new generation, things like that, due to whatever excuse we want to give. The problem is that it's too many damn excuses in order to keep these fucking children in line. And the thing of it is, the real thing is that we need to pay attention to this case. This is a very serious case. Well, people, whether you like to believe this or not, this is a very serious moment right now where in the first time in the new age history that we have parents that are being convicted along with their child of committing a mass shooting. This is basically what this is now. Let's just break this down. whether it's involuntary or whatever whatever they want to call it, whatever they want to call the charges that they're giving the parents. This is serious. This case study can be used in any other case from here on out for any parent that has a child that goes out and does something stupid.
So what the French toast is there to think about?
You can't make this shit up.
But you old fish-eyed fool.
Yes. This is how it's going down. This is on the books now. This is on the law books. You know what I'm saying? The state versus Crumbly. Any one of you out there as a parent and your child does something outrageous like this, they will bring up this in court and try to figure this out and try to see if you as a parent could be liable as well in the crime, whether you were knowledgeably involved or not. Y'all don't understand. These people, they go to work every day. These legislatures, these judges, the Congress people, they go to work every day and they make up new laws for us to abide by. And the only way we know about new laws is when shit hits the fan and we have to get them in, subjugate ourselves to set new law. Like, seriously.
And what the French toast is there to think about?
The impact statements given here and the written statements provided to the court describe the cataclysmic impact the deaths of these children have had on their children. With regard to each defendant, this court has spent night and day thinking about this case, as you can imagine. I've prayed about this case, I've thought about this case, and I've considered the possibility for rehabilitation, the need to protect society, the penalty appropriate to the conduct and goal of deterring others from similar conduct. I have reviewed the pre-sentence investigation reports. I am, of course, sadly familiar with the facts and circumstances of these cases, as well as those surrounding each defendant. The advisory sentencing guidelines in this matter do not capture the catastrophic impact of the acts or inaction in these matters. The guidelines do not take into account the complete lack of insight both defendants have for their behavior to this very day. The guidelines do not account for the severity of the circumstances in this matter. The guidelines ignore the survivors, including shooting victims Phoebe Arthur, Elijah Mueller, Riley Franz, Kylie Osage, Jonna Shudo, Molly Darnell, and Aiden Watson. They were deeply wounded, both physically and emotionally. In addition to the 7 wounded, each of the defendants' gross negligence has caused unimaginable suffering to hundreds of others as a result of what happened that day. Each act or inaction created a ripple effect. Therefore, an out-of-guidelines sentence is appropriate and proportional. The court uses the useful tool of the legislative guidelines, which embody the principles of proportionality, while also taking into account the nature of the offense and the background of each defendant. I believe that the following sentences would be in the best interest of justice and are reasonable and proportionate to the seriousness of the matter and the circumstances surrounding each defendant.
And y'all don't think this shit is serious out here. Y'all don't think this shit is serious.
Hey, what is your damaged muscle head? You stupid? You ignorant, or you just plain old deaf?
I'm wondering that too. And at the end of the day, like, I'm going to keep preaching that. I'm going to keep standing 10 toes down on these facts. Michigan is pushing this bar like a mug on everything. They've already they got this in the box right here. This is on the books of parents being convicted along with their child of their child's crime. Y'all don't know how serious this is. You don't know how serious this is. If you have a child and they go out and commit an egregious crime like this, and listen, look, people, listen, look, shit runs downhill. Shit runs downhill. We all know this now. You know, this is reality. It starts here. Now, yes, this is a super crime. This child did something totally crazy. And the parents maybe kind of allowed it, things like that. But that child did something that was so egregious. Now, where would this go from here? Your child, steal things from a store, or your child steals a car, or your child, even individually, shoot someone, or your child, does any type of, crime and stuff like that. Will this case be able to open the door for parents to also be charged with their children's crimes?
So what the French toast is there to think about?
That's the question. Because this is already on the books in Michigan. Don't think that the rest of the states are not paying attention to these things. Just because you working your 9 to 5 and shit, and y'all not paying attention to the big picture, real talk. Because we all have our moments where we don't pay attention to the big picture, because we all working, especially as average citizens, things like that. And we're trying to pay these bills. We're trying to do what we can to survive, to live, and try to have a best life. But these people go to work every day and they figure things out, and they're pushing the bars. And this is a bar that just got pushed. And Michigan is also pushing another bar, like I said before, as far as, men that are dating, women with children and trying to push them to be responsible for said children, or also, they've also hemmed men up. I did a story on that a while back about a gentleman that got hemmed up, to be responsible for a child that he did not even sire. He had no sexual relations with the woman. He didn't even know the damn woman. And Michigan is pushing for something like that. This is the deal here. This is the deal. So, this is getting complicated out here, and I suggest everybody start opening up their eyes and pay attention, especially all my subscribers, especially all my followers. Shout out to y'all. Real talk. Shout out to y'all. Yes. If you're parents out there, man, you better be trying to raise these children the right way, the best way you can, because this is on the books now.
With regard to Jennifer Crumbley, it is the sentence of this court, Ms. Crumbley, that you serve 10 to 15 years with the Michigan Department of Corrections. You will have credit for 858 days. State costs are $272. There's a crime victims' rights fee of $130. You and your agents may not have any contact with the families of Madison Baldwin, Tate Meir, Hannah St. Juliana, and Justin Schilling. I will issue another ruling with regard to contact with your son, the shooter. Excuse me. As to defendant James Crumbley, it is the sentence of this court that you serve 10 to 15 years with the Michigan Department of Corrections, that you receive credit for 858 days, that you pay state costs in the matter of $272, that there is a crime victims' rights fee of $130, that you or your agents have no contact with the families of Madison Baldwin, Tate Meir, Hannah St. Juliana, and Justin Schilling. Ms. Wheeler, have I left anything out with regard to sentencing? No restitution has been requested by any of the families at this time, correct?
That's correct.
Thank you. I would like to advise both defendants that you are entitled to appellate review of your conviction and sentence, including if the sentence exceeds the guideline range. This is done by filing a claim of appeal by right, or when you are not entitled to file a claim of appeal by right, an application for leave to appeal. If you cannot afford to hire an attorney to represent you on appeal, and you request an attorney may be appointed for you. You may request an attorney by completing the request for appointment of attorney section of the form that will be provided for you, and by returning the form to this court or to the Michigan Assigned Counsel System at the address on the form. If you wish.
Man, wow. You know what? You know what is sad? You know what is sad? This shines a bad light. This shines a very bad light on a two-parent home. Yeah, I know I'm stupid out here. But it does though. This shines a very bad light on a two-parent home. We also, you know, as a culture, we also want to sit here and be like, well, if children were raised in a two-parent home, things like that, a loving two-parent home, they would come out the best and things like that. This is a two-parent home. These are two parents that are on trial for their child's crimes. You know, it does shine a very bad light on two-parent homes and things like that. And of course, you know, in most cases, you know, strategically, and be honest with you, the statistics, it would show that, you know, most children would not end up like this. You know, it's just the truth. Most children would not end up like this. Obviously, these two individuals were lacking on their parentage and things like that. Very much so, you know, because they're in court now signing papers together, still married now. They're still married. You know, they're still married, but they're going to, you know, go to prison for a certain length of time and stuff like that. And they're, you know, of course, they're going to be separated. She's going to a woman's prison. He's going to a male's prison, things like that. I think they also said that their son is going to a total separate prison from both of them. So, you know, of course, you know, the woman's prison, yeah, of course, you know, they're not going to have his, you know, the son there. But, you know, yeah, this is something that's on the books now. And I suggest all you parents out there actually start paying attention to things and actually start understanding this. You know, the laws are being pushed at every single second that we wake up every day. Legislatures, all these people, they don't go to work and do nothing every damn day. I mean, I'm just being honest. This is reality here. This is a new situation that's on the books that can be used in other situations. And mark my words, mark my motherfucking words. In the future, if you have any more children that go out here and do some egregious shit like this, they will put the parents' asses to the fire. Real talk.
What's the French toast is there to think about?
Real talk. Because they will use this case. They will use this case in order to convict everybody of that child's crime. They will use this case. Seriously. Y'all think this is a game out here. It's not a game. The system is not playing. It's not a game. But Ado, be safe out there. you know what I'm saying, make sure that you can, you know what I'm saying, raise your children as properly as you can in the best environment as you can. Try to, you know, just try to be the best parent that you can. You know, it just is what it is, man. It's hard out here for everybody, but, you know, just do what you can and try to, you know, make the best decisions for your family and make sure that everybody, you know, do the right thing. And it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But hey, though, shout out to all my subscribers. Mad love to y'all. If you're new to the channel, please hit that like, share, subscribe button. Make sure that you ring that bell to be notified whenever I decide to post things. And like I always say,
and that, my friends, is the bottom line.
That, my friends, is the bottom line. Mad love to all my subscribers. Thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe. Please comment. My link to my X, TikTok, and my email are down below. And I always show the Bottom Line News some love. And like I always say,
and that, my friends, is the bottom line.
That, my friends, is the bottom line.
Who responsible for all these holes in the street? You? God damn it! You can't make this shit up!
We'll talk about that some other time.
No, I want to talk about it now. See,
Fred,
another reason
I said we'll talk about that some other time.
You don't tell me what I can talk about. You don't tell me what I can talk about in my own house.
Don't you point your finger at my nose, Fred Sanford.
I'll point my finger at your nose and I'll point my foot somewhere else.